Our worst fears have been realized. Someone made a movie about vampires that was worse than Twilight. And it was a parody! I thought we were out of the woods because Disaster Movie failed and it had been a year and a half and we'd heard nothing from Friedberg and Seltzer to suggest that they're making a new movie. Then we get this, and I just saw the trailer very recently, and I mean, it was terrible, but I thought it looked slightly better than Disaster Movie. But it was still horrible. I stumbled upon this movie by chance. I was just checking out things about this movie. I was just trying to find out stuff. And the movie itself showed up. And I was like, no way. I clicked on it. And it was the movie. I don't know. Now, I don't know what it is about Friedberg and Seltzer that make them write themselves bad titles for movies that suggest bad things about their own movies. Disaster Movie. That movie was a disaster. Epic Movie. That movie was an epic piece of shit. Vampires suck. This movie sucks. It's just so horrible. They just take things from the original Twilight plot and they explain what's going on in a sarcastic or over-the-top tone. And that's just not funny. Or they'll just point at something they're like, who's that? Oh, there's just the members of the Jersey Shore. And they show that frame for like 3 seconds. And then it just moves on to Edward walking behind them. All of a sudden, there is no explanation for them being there. There's no reason. The fact that they're even there, it's not funny at all. They just took the same lame-ass jokes from their 4 previous movies and molded them around this new plot. But you can't even call it a plot because it's just a stringing together of random scenes with her narration over it. Her narration just explaining what's happening next. There's no story here. There's nothing to look for. The characters are completely... I mean, I get they're supposed to be spoofing these characters, but everything they do just takes the things that were bad about Twilight and exemplifying them instead of making fun of them. Also, the production value of this movie is terrible. Like, if you thought Disaster Movie was bad, this is just horrible. And this doesn't have a lot of effects, but it just looks like they shot this movie on a freaking camcorder. And the cast, I mean, Matt Lanter, I think he's the guy that plays Edward, but it's just so horrible, and it just, oh my god, and then just randomly start talking about other stuff, like, there's no point to it. I mean, there must be a scene that's been used in, like, every spoof movie. I mean, this kind of same setup. It's just when, Becca, her name, I mean, seriously, they changed only her name. It's Becca, and then Edward and Jacob. They don't change those, but they change hers. And it's Becca and Jacob talking. She gets his car, and she accidentally opens the door and hits him. I'm like, oh, how is that supposed to be anything close to funny? I mean, they honestly make jokes out of changing a letter from the main character's name. Instead of colon, it's the Solons. Oh yeah, oh it's right. It's not funny. It is nowhere near funny, and they make jokes off of that. They don't even have to, like, just say it, but they make jokes off of that continuously throughout the movie. That is their parody skills. This is just complete shit. This movie is shit. Why does this movie need to exist? Why did Aaron Seltzer and Jason Friedberg need to take a shit into a cup and stare at it and say, let's fucking make a movie? Why is there any reason that they just wanted to watch the trailers for the Twilight movies and then get a cast together, write a script changing a line or two? All they do is just change pieces of dialogues and put it in the movie and then make random pop culture reference like, Edward, like, he's too good for all of us. I mean, he didn't even accept my Facebook friend request. I don't know what they don't get about this. I mean, they make jokes that people who go to see, like, Twilight or people who hate Twilight make jokes about, like, you know, with their friends making fun of Twilight, but that doesn't constitute for a film. That, in no way. And then it's like what they did with the Disaster Movie. They used that plot as a setup for a bunch of random other pop culture references, except for at least in Disaster Movie or any of the other one of their movies, Epic Movie, any of them, they at least gave some of the characters, they're just screen time. I mean, like, in Meet the Spartans, they gave Ghost Rider, like, 3 seconds. They were advertising on that big, like, yeah, we're making fun of Ghost Rider. He was in there for, like, 3 seconds. This movie, they point at the Jersey Shore. They have that little Lady Gaga thing. What? I don't get it. I want to get inside their head, but it's just a jumble of crap. Talk about this movie anymore. It is just terrible. Don't see it. Don't even think about seeing it. Honestly, the comments on the trailer are completely positive. Don't see the movie. 1 out of 10. Maybe even like a 0.5. 1 out of 10 for vampires suck. Guys should seriously make a drinking game out of this movie. Every time you don't laugh at an attempted joke, take a drink. You will be vomiting. Vomiting. By the end credits.